Hey there, we see that you found your way back to the podcast. Good on you. This week on Convincing Idiots, this is what you're in for. As you know by now, we're going to be discussing our idiot reviews, and then we go into a little pop culture headlines. This week, we're talking about some rock icons that we have lost. We remember them, we discuss them, and all that they gave to us. Then we talk about the AI chatbots. That's right, there's some new technology on the rise. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Well, stick around and find out. And for our main topic tonight, past versus present, let's say present day you is in a room with a teenage version of yourself. What advice do you give? What do you tell them to do? What do you tell them not to do? Stick around, find out, listen to what we have to say, and maybe let us know what you would have to say. All this and so much more on this week's episode of Convincing Idiots. So without further ado, let's start the show.
All right, test.
Call it again.
Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got to hold poop.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
And welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And I am your millennial. My name is Nicholas. And if you are new
Yay,
here,
Nick.
yay, millennials, yay. We welcome you to Convincing
just me.
Idiots. Just me. Oh, that's special. That's even better yet.
Yeah.
So if this is your first time joining us, welcome. We know it's not, because we know this is a global podcast. People are chomping in the bit to hear the next episode of Convincing Idiots. So without further ado, here we are. If you are one of the few people that have been living under a rock for the last 2+ years, we are Convincing Idiots, a weekly podcast of three friends representing three different generations, talking about all kinds of nerd and pop culture things of the week. So if you've not already done so, please feel welcomed to go to all of our social media accounts, like, subscribe, rate, review, follow, stalk, whatever you do, we are there for you. You can find links to all of the social media platforms in which we are present on our Convincing Idiots link tree. So just go ahead and type into Google Convincing Idiots, LINKTREE, and there you can go to your social media platform or platforms of choice and do all of those things that I said. It really helps out the show. You can also find all that and so much more on our website. That is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. And there, again, you can find all kinds of things, ways you can help the show, places that you can listen to our voices each and every single week. We have a merch store that is up there. And if these aren't plentiful enough options for you already, be sure to check us out on a platform of some friends of ours called Boss Code Media. We are there as well as our friends on It Came From Gen X. If you're not familiar, Boss Code Media and Boss Code TV is an app that you can download on your smart TV or on your cellular device. It is a lot of original content creator content. I already said it. I'll say it again. Content creator, content driven, whatever. Fun, unique stuff for you on there. So be sure to download Boss Code Media on your smart device or your smart TV today. Look for us. Look for It Came From Gen X. And look for us here on your current device in which you may be watching or listening at this very moment. So we have returned for another week of idiocy, if you will. So let's start with the biggest idiot of them all, Dean.
Oh, boy.
What have you been up to, Dean?
I was expecting this.
It's like when you win an award, and you're like, "Oh, I really didn't think I'd win." I mean,
me.
there's two other massive morons on the show. I never would have thought that I would have been the biggest idiot.
I would be nowhere without you two idiots. Thank you. No, I've been good. Let's see. I don't think I've done a whole lot over the past week. Went back to the gym. Nick, I don't know if you. Welcome back. First of all, welcome back.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yes.
Brian really missed you, and I would like to say that if you didn't hear the show last week, which I'm sure you're an avid listener, I started going to the gym.
Is it sweaty?
No, actually, I've been swimming.
Okay. Yes.
For exercise, which is weird. So there's a lot of like it's exhausting. Like I know how
swimming works. Yeah, you didn't.
No. But like
go to
normally,
too much
like I've never swam for exercise. Like laps, go back and forth.
Okay.
So this is new.
Okay.
And so you go into the gym or the locker room, and there's like old man balls hanging around, and people are like, they're just hairy ass crack.
That is where old men feel they're absolute most comfortable. They love it. Like when I had a YMCA pass,
love it.
The old men, I don't even think they're there to do anything but have their junk out in front of other men. That's all they're there for.
One guy was over in the corner playing dick guitar. Like he just pulled it out like the neck of a guitar and just.
Yeah.
And his balls, they were so low, they were knocking against his ankles, making some sort of like drum beat. It was a whole one-man band situation going on there.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah.
It was. So I'm like, get your clothes on. We got to do a podcast, Brian. So we are here. And
That was at the house afterwards.
It was. The neck of that guitar was very impressive.
You want to come do some stretching and get limber in my house? Come on over.
Yeah, so just about I'm doing that. I have some things that I watched that I'm very excited about. That I will review later. And I didn't want to mention. I've really been thinking about it lately, and I think that the next evolution. First of all, as you can see, caps. Brian, you get a cap?
Yep,
If you can see on YouTube, and
caps.
you saw last week, we had brunch and had caps, or bought caps. Yep, we sure did together. And I think my next evolution. It was a very nice Sunday, very pleasant.
Yeah,
I was in bed by 3. It was amazing. So yeah, but my next evolution is I think I want to be a pipe guy. I think I owned like a corncob pipe in high school because I thought I wanted a pipe, and that was the cheapest one I could afford was a corncob pipe.
boy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Where
it
are
didn't
those
look
pictures
cool.
at?
Oh, I'm sure they're out there. But that's classic.
Did your
That's
wounds
not
even have
dirtbag
time
Dean.
to heal from getting your ass kicked in between ass kickings in high school? Like, do you have time to fully heal?
No. First of all, what it tells you about the school that I went to, I was the coolest kid in school with my Hawaiian shirts and corncob pipe. I was beating the pussy off with a stick. I mean, it was left and right. I dodging it like a football player running into the end zone. It was a whole thing.
Hey, pretty little
With a
thing.
Hawaiian
I don't
shirt
mean to
and a
brag, but this is a
corncob pipe.
Tommy Bahama.
Yes.
Those aren't cheap.
The cologne, yes, that's brute. You're right. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna go get an actual pipe. I think I want to be known. The beard is starting to come in a little grayer, so I think I need to venture into pipe situation. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, it's like, how are you improving yourself in 2023?
I am racing to my coffin. I'm trying to be as old as possible, as fast as possible. In my time of knowing Dean, he has progressively gone from a bit of a speed walk to a sprint to Old Manville. Like the first person to stop wearing undershirts under button-ups. Couldn't wait to do that. Let the chest breathe. That was old man move number one.
First of all, you got to be proud.
The hats.
Got to be proud. And the hats are stylish. And now they're coming back around because of the Peaky Blinders and stuff. But I was here before that trend, so I'm a trendsetter. That's what I am.
I feel like you just need to hang out in a clubhouse, in a golf clubhouse or something all day. It's just
there you go.
I like that idea. I like that a lot.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about like mutual funds and shit like that.
Yeah,
eat an egg salad sandwich.
Yeah, right.
And a hot tea. I love this plan.
Yeah, I just forward my subscription, Nick, to the AARP magazine straight to Dean's house now. I just cut out the middleman. You know,
I'm hoping to be president. Actually, youngest president in AARP history. That's the goal.
In all seriousness, I could picture you with a pipe. I think you'd be just fine with a pipe.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
I used to fantasize about that as a kid because I used to
smoking pipe.
No, just smoking a pipe myself because the tobacco smells so good. And everything.
Right.
I always thought it was a man. I'm going to smoke a pipe. Yeah, never tried it. Never tried it.
My great grandfather.
Even that one time at camp, you never smoked a pipe.
No.
Sure did think about it a lot.
No kind of pipe. No kind of pipe.
Never did it.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, my great grandfather had like a chair in the corner of the dining room where like it was his newspapers, and he would just smoke a pipe. That's what he just
see.
The only time he left that area is when Notre Dame or golf was on, and that was it. He sat in the chair, he smoked his pipe, and read the paper. That was all the time.
Did he have like the weather radio or the police scanner?
He did have a radio. Yes, he did have an AM radio next to the chair. Yes. Yep.
That was my grandfather. He didn't do the pipe, but he had the chair and the paper, and he had the police scanner. That was his thing.
Oh, okay.
His form of relaxation was to hear about crime in the community. You know. Anyway, and that would be Dean's next. You know what? I wonder if I still have this. If I have we can get you a fucking police scanner.
All right.
Yeah.
I think like Dean's the kind of guy, like based off of what I'm hearing and what I've already seen in years past. This is the kind of guy that's going to be, if he has to fly somewhere, he's going to be excited to buy some of those compression things that go around his ankles, even if he doesn't need them. He just wants to look like he needs them because of the altitude. Like this looks like someone who's 75 needs. I'd like to wear this. This is cool. This is cool.
Actually, that's what I put them on before I got in the pool. It helped a lot.
I love these, but do you have them? I love these. Do you have them in a softer heel and a Velcro? Do you have? Can I see these in a 10.5 Velcro?
Okay, Brian, what have you been doing? How are you?
I am good. It was a nice long weekend. I was off for Martin Luther King Day on Monday, so it was a nice 3-day weekend last weekend. Kind of relaxed Friday. Saturday, Allie and I went up to Hudson, Ohio. So just had a whim to go up to Hudson. I work up that way, and there's a lot of nice restaurants and things. So we went to the Flip Side in downtown Hudson. It's like a gourmet burger type thing. They combined it now with a place next door, the Red Door, which I've not been to either before. But we had a nice burger. They have a nice beer selection there. Great service, nice place. Yes,
I bet they do.
It was nice. It was reasonable. And then we went to Kepner's Irish place Irish bar in downtown Hudson as well. Very cool place. You guys would love it. Very cool vibe. Just got pictures and things and decorations everywhere. Pretty good beer selection there as well. Then we stopped at Hi-Ho Brewing on the way home in Cuyahoga Falls. Had a beer there, kind of nightcap it. That was a nice Sunday. Watched some great football, great playoff football. And then capped it off Monday, Nick, with the big Dallas Cowboys victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, how about the Cowboys?
Yeah,
wasn't that a kicker?
Oh boy,
yeah, shit,
terrible. It was the most craziest thing.
Absurd to see a guy. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
No, you never have, literally, because it was a record. You never saw a guy miss 4 extra points.
4 extra points in a playoff game never happened before. Yep.
And then they fucking won.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing. And they're sticking with them this week too. So we'll see. So when this airs, Nick and I will be either grumpy
Yeah,
or
right.
happy. We don't know
That's
yet.
right.
So yeah, we'll see.
No telling which dwarf we'll be, but we'll be one of them.
Mhm.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So that's what's up for me. Nick, how are you, sir?
I'm well. What did I do this weekend? I played some hockey on Friday. It was good. We started off our season with a win, so that was cool. And then Saturday, I remember we did Saturday. Saturday, I went out for a couple beers at M&M Tap House and got some food and stuff like that. So I always
Mhm.
enjoy their food here. If you're in the Barberton area, M&M Tap House is delicious pizzas and
Yeah.
Buffalo
Robin-
chicken pizzas.
yeah, that's what I had.
Chef's kiss.
Yep. And even Robin, my lovely wife, is a very, very picky eater, but to get her stamp of approval on food is definitely high praise. So she enjoys her Caesar salads and everything. So yeah, it was good food there, and just hung in and watched some hockey after that Saturday night. And I don't really remember what we did Sunday. I think we did some running around, but I can't remember. But yeah, I've been watching some stuff. So like Dean said, I've got some things to review that I'm very excited about, and so yeah, that's about it.
That's great. Well, I just roll into it then. So we'll get into idiot reviews. You both saw some things that you're interested in.
Yeah.
So, Nick, why don't you keep it going? What did you see?
Yeah, I watched a new movie on Netflix called Glass Onion. Have you guys seen the
Yes,
previews for this?
I saw
Kate
that
Hudson,
movie.
Dave Bautista.
Yes.
Did you watch it?
Fabulous.
Okay, yeah, I
Is
thought
that
the
the
same.
Knives Out
The
sequel?
Knives Out movie. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, it was very fun, murder mystery kind of deal, and Edward Norton, and yeah, it's a great cast. Everybody that was in, I mean, it was it was fantastic cast all the way around. Daniel Craig, so definitely just a fun watch. Good, like I said, it's as advertised. It's kind of a whodunit, a murder mystery, and it's got a lot of twists and turns. And I just thought it was really fun one to watch.
I think Daniel Craig, by the way, so we've been to mention this before. He's setting himself up here to play that role, that detective. Is it something Benoit something? I have to look up the name, but to play that role in several movies if they want to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
absolutely.
This is the second one. They can make plenty more. So
yeah,
sorry.
Absolutely. No, yeah, but yeah, it was very good. Enjoyed it. I've watched. What else did I watch? You guys will be happy to know that I am 4 episodes deep into Andor. I started watching Andor because, you guys have both said previously how good it was, but specifically what really caught me when we were doing our year-end episode, and Brian was like, it's my favorite thing that Disney's done with Star Wars. And I'm like, wow, and I've heard, on top of that, I've heard other people who aren't really even Star Wars fans talk about how good it was. And so I'm like, well, I better just at least try it. So I've decided to start using my exercise bike time on my lunch breaks. Instead of listening to music, I just turn on a show, and that's the way I've been able to knock it out as best I can. So far, I like it. I like it. I mean, I'm not to the point yet with it to where I'm enjoying it at the same level as like The Mandalorian. But I do like it so far. Like I said, I'm like 4 episodes in. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's definitely, the acting is fantastic. I think one of the things for me is when you put a Star Wars tag on it, because I'm a Star Wars fan, if you're a Star Wars fan, it either sets up a certain bar for you, or if you're not a Star Wars fan, it probably tends to drive you away. As this stuff goes on, I mean, Disney with Star Wars and Marvel, and as they branch out into all these different side avenues and stories and, less central characters, I think that's something that me personally, I'm going to have to keep in mind. When it's Star Wars, it's like, yes, this is Star Wars, but this, in my mind, I have to go, this exists in that universe. You don't need to go into it and think like, I need to be wowed by, they need to pull this character out or that character out, or I need to, I have to kind of tell myself, take it for what it is. Enjoy it as the story. Enjoy it as a standalone thing that's not, just watch it. It exists in Star Wars.
Come into this podcast, actually. Take all your preconceived notions of like comedy and entertainment.
Just take it for what
something different. It's something different.
People that aren't good at anything, just trying and missing. And it's fine.
That's right. That's right.
Sometimes you just fucking miss everything, and it's fine. It's fine.
Once in a while, we're accidentally entertaining or funny.
I remember that time. That was a crazy night.
Rarely in the same episode, but
No, that's
Yeah, but no, I've enjoyed Andor so far. And then last night I was flipping through, I discovered on Paramount, I think it's on CBS. That's I don't know how new it is. I think it is relatively new. I have in the past talked about my love for a show called I Think You Should Leave, and that but I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. It's a sketch comedy show by Tim Robbins. Or Tim Robinson is his name, I should say. And it's just weird. It's offbeat. I don't know who to recommend it to, because you're either going to love it and think it's the funniest thing you've ever seen and it'll make you cry because you're laughing so hard every time, or you're going to watch it and go, this is so weird and I hate it and what is this? So it's you either love it or you hate it kind of thing. But this guy and one of his co-stars in I Think You Should Leave have a show on CBS, or no, I'm sorry, Comedy Central. It's a Comedy Central show called Detroiters. And it's about these guys, from what I gather so far, that basically take over an advertising company. This is a gentleman that was big in the advertising business and worked with a lot of stars in the past. Well, he passed, or he went insane or whatever, so he had the business was passed on to his son and his friend, which are it's hard to explain to you guys because I don't think either one of you have ever seen I Think You Should Leave, but it is in that vein. That is the style of comedy. It is weird. It's just fucking weird and super awkward. And so far, I love it. I've only seen 2 episodes, but I just started watching it last night. But it's called Detroiters, and it's on Comedy Central. So I'm going to keep watching that. Okay. I feel like I watched something else, but I can't remember right now. So rather than hold it up, if I think about it, I'll come back. But Dean, what have you watched?
Oh boy. Well, let me first start off. I mentioned it last week, and Nick. I am back into the new season of Letterkenny, and this might be one of their best seasons. I mean, it's up there. It's really good. It's very solid. And we set the kids down and we showed them for the first time, and I hadn't seen it in years, The Princess Bride. Mm. And I forgot just how good that movie actually is. Rob Reiner directing. The cast, I mean, yes, I get it that they were so young because it was so long ago.
Is that the one that Andre the Giant's in?
Yes.
Okay, I've never seen this, but I know of it. Like, I've heard of The Princess Bride. I always get that and the one that Anne Hathaway was in mixed up, where she's a princess and she finds out.
I don't believe I know that one.
It was like it was her big one that broke her into like a lot of the public eye kind of.
Was that the Princess Diaries?
That's it. Diaries. That's the one. Princess Diaries. Yep. Every time I hear Princess Bride, I'm like, is it that Anne Hathaway movie? But it's not.
Well, the fun about this was Carter is probably a year or two older or whatever than the Fred Savage character who's sick and is being read the story to. And first of all, I love Peter Falk. Let's just give him his flowers. He was so fantastic. but it's the same deal. It's like Carter had the same reaction. I'm like, oh, Princess Bride, no way. Just the name alone, and he had the same reaction. By the end, he wasn't like hooked as much as Fred Savage was, but he enjoyed it. He liked it a lot more than he thought he would. So
I watched that for the first time last year, Dean, for the very first time my whole life. So I had Allie and her daughter Marla were over to watch a movie. I said, you could pick, and they picked Princess Bride in part because I'd never seen it. And I was like, but the end of the movie, I'm like, solid movie. Like
solid movie.
Great movie.
Yep.
Yeah. So definitely recommend it. I agree with you. Yeah.
And then let's all take a deep breath and praise 2023 because, ladies and gentlemen, we have Night Court back in session. The Honorable Abby T. Stone presiding instead of Harry T. Stone. It's a sequel. Like, it's not a reboot. It's a sequel. Melissa Rauch from Big Bang Theory plays Harry's daughter because the character, as well as the actor Harry Anderson, passed on a few years ago. And they bring back John Larroquette, who is just gold. There's a reason he won so many Emmys for that back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yep.
And it's the beat, the comedic beat, the jokes, the style, and like everything about the show is so reminiscent to the first one. They do it so well, and it works. Like, it still works. Like, is as well as it did the 80s and 90s. So if you were a fan of that, like Quantum Leap, the new Quantum Leap, you have, it's a different feel, it's a different cast, it's a different, you know what I mean? There's a lot of like differences, but you still enjoy it. This, it's like they just, it's everything's the same, and it's so damn good. I know Skinner wrote to us and said he didn't, he had some issues about it, but I loved it. I thought it was just the same, and okay. I love the original. So, yes,
I have a question. Mm-hmm. What is the plot of Night Court?
Okay,
what is it?
All right, in New York City, because there's so many people, so many the city,
so many cases that need to get to. Okay.
So they have arraignments even overnight.
It's quite literally a night. It's court at nighttime.
Right.
That's right. So it's just quick arraignments. You did this. We're going to send you to trial, or a quick $50 fine, or So it's a quick processing for courts at night. So in the night court, you get some of the most odd people, the dirtiest people, the craziest, wackiness. And this is about a crazy, wacky. The original was about Harry Stone, who was a young, wide-eyed first time being a judge, and they put him in night court, and he it was wacky and everything, craziness ensues, and now it's his daughter has now been hired for night court, and she brings back Dan Fielding, who was part of it, and it's if you like the original, go ahead, just don't even you're not even gonna have to give it a chance. You'll love it. If you love the first one, you'll love this one. And speaking of continuations or sequels, I also just watched tonight the first few episodes of the 90s show, which premiered today on Netflix.
Okay, what do you think?
It has the same feel, same tone, same cast is back kind of periodically, but the two Kitty and Red
Kitty, yep,
they are continuous in it, and I honestly would like to see it more lean on them and watch more of their story than the kids, but I get it. That's the heart of the show, is teenagers growing up in whatever era. But Red Foreman is one of the greatest characters on television.
Yep.
He's my spirit animal, and you know what I mean? I get him. He gets me. He's grumpy. He's old. He's tired of children. He's tired of society.
Is that what you're trying to do? Is that why you're trying to be old? Is you're trying to be Red Foreman as fast as possible?
But with a pipe and a cap.
with a pipe and a cap. Yeah. And again, I don't think I'm trying.
Like if Red Foreman had a fishing boat, that's who I want to be.
First of all, Red Foreman. And Nick, it's not so much that I'm trying. It's more that's just where life is taking me, and I just jumped in the boat and going down the river.
Okay.
So, but that's everything that I've watched.
I love that character too, Deed. So Red Foreman, it stuck with me all these years. You can find it out there in a meme too. But when he was trying to, his advice to his son. So Kitty wanted to go square dancing, and we're all going to go to square dancing and learn to square dance. And the son was like, I'm not doing this. And he's like, Red pulled him aside, basically said, do you think I want to do this? He said, listen, I got news for you. Part of being a man is that most of the time, in so many words, most of the time you have to do shit you don't want to do.
Right. Which is true.
That's it.
Yep. Just to make other people happy.
Yeah.
Even though
it makes you think about that. The percent of your time that you do stuff that you really don't want to do as a grown man, it's pretty high.
95%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
95%.
Stuff that you really want to do is sit on the porch, have a nice.
So Dean, other than being drunk 5 days a week, where would you rather be? 95% seems high for you.
Yeah, 95 is up there, but yeah. Yep.
First of all, I'm not drunk 5 days.
5% I'm sleeping.
4.5 tops.
Yeah. Well, I saw a couple of things here, guys. So, Nick, you mentioned I'm glad you're enjoying that. So, and you said, it's up there with
Mandalorian. I agree with you. A couple ties to the Mandalorian and some things that I watched over the past week. I started watching Kaleidoscope on Netflix. So this is a one season miniseries. It stars Giancarlo Esposito. Now he plays the big villain, the new villain in the Mandalorian series.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a lot of different shows. Really hasn't had a lead role so much.
He was the bad guy in Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, well there you have it. So yeah,
Gus.
just terrific villain. But in this show, he's kind of he's the main character. So I won't spoil anything. But basically, he was a thief with a partner of his. He's thrown in jail, gets out, and it's a sort of a revenge theft plotting thing against his former partner. That's all I'll say. So I'm not going to give away anything else here, but a lot of great supporting cast. The story's interesting. If you like that type of thriller thief type show, like the plotting, and you see how they're planning to try to pull off this huge caper and stuff like that, you'll enjoy this. And Giancarlo, he's just fantastic. So again, it's out there on Netflix. I think it's about 8 episodes. I'm about 3 or 4 in right now. And also the first episode premiered on HBO Max, The Last of Us. This is starring Pedro Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian. Great actor. So this is based on the video game The Last of Us by the same name, which I never played. It was kind of past my big time gaming period when that game came out. But if you know the game, it's it's zombie-esque, if you will. So people are infected by this fungus. It's not a zombie type apocalypse, but zombie-ish, I guess, if you will. But there's a fungus that evolves and overtakes humans, and humans are trying to spread it like a zombie virus, spread it to others by biting them, that type of thing. So it's that type of vibe and feel. And humans are the minority, and they're living in groups and trying to survive and all that stuff. So he basically is tasked to take a girl to another community or something like that, and you kind of find out why. So it seems like she might be immune to the fungus, so he needs to protect her because she could be humanity's last hope. First episode's like an hour and a half, so it's a pretty lengthy premiere. Interesting. I like zombie stuff anyway, and Pedro Pascal is just fantastic actor anyway, so it's worth seeing in its own right. Kind of a tragic type story, but very interesting. If you're in the game or against zombie stuff, I'm sure you'll enjoy that. And I watched, now we talked about this last week, Dean, we talked about the Golden Globe Awards. Colin Farrell won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Comedy or Musical, and this movie was up for a few things as well. So it's actually on HBO Max free, The Banshees of Inisherin. I'm probably mispronouncing it. So Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson.
It's a comedy?
It's a dark comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They live on this island off the coast of Ireland. They're friends for a long time. They kind of have a falling out. And things get kind of dark and weird where Colin Farrell's trying to rekindle the friendship and Brendan Gleeson is not for it. And things go kind of strangely dark as far as that whole thing. So I won't go farther than that here, but very good. It was very interesting, beautifully shot. Wherever they filmed it is it's a beautiful location. I assume it was off the coast of Ireland somewhere. I'm not exactly sure, but it looked great. But the Colin Farrell was fantastic, so I could see where he certainly was deserved to win the Golden Globe. Yeah, so check that out. So again, if you just sort of want to sit down and enjoy, it's not a movie you sort of have in the background. It's when you got to sort of pay attention to. And sometimes if you have like a movie that's set in Ireland, sometimes the accents can be very hard to understand. So, but not so here. They're definitely Irish accents, but understandable and everything else. You could easily follow the dialogue and everything else. So a lot of very good performances in this. So definitely check out The Banshees of Inisherin on HBO Max, or you could run it on streaming if you don't have HBO Max as well. So that's a couple of things that I saw.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. So why don't we?
Oh, I forgot.
Please.
Last thing I had written down here. So I'm sorry.
Sure.
Written down here. The one last thing I did see. I watched the price on my insurance go down because I have Blake Insurance.
Ooh, smooth as hail.
See, Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free. What? You heard me correctly. Free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, tell them the idiot sent you.
Very good.
I like free.
Free 99 is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron may also have pipe smoking coverage insurance as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I know he has a lovely overcoat jacket type thing that he enjoys wearing. So
maybe he can insure Dean's hip when he breaks it.
No. Just to be clear, he does not cover medical insurance. It is all just auto, home,
right.
renters, and business. Just to be clear,
Pipe.
That's right. That's right.
not pipe. Just jokes aside, it is auto, home, renters, and business. So
okay, fair enough.
Yep.
And pipe.
Yep.
All right,
pipe.
so
we're gonna take a break and I'm gonna lay the pipe.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about some pop culture headlines and our Ask an Idiot question of the week. And then our main segment tonight is Dean's a big on time travel. What if we could speak to our younger selves? What are some things that we would say? Coming up later.
I've got a few other questions involved with that too. So this is gonna be fun.
Why are you such in a rush to get old?
That's a question I'll ask.
Welcome back to Convincing Idiots. We hope you're able to enjoy smoking some pipe or laying some pipe or cleaning a pipe or whatever it is at the break. Yeah, whatever your preference is. Hey, maybe you like to do a combination of those things. We don't care. There's no judgment here.
Right. Pipe in one hand, pipe in the other.
Sure.
Whatever you need to do.
That's right. Whatever.
That's why I like these two. I like to go skiing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Skiing in the hot tub.
That's right.
Or the sauna, perhaps. The sauna.
Or the sauna.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get kicked out of the Y for that, I think.
I think so. Okay, so some pop culture headlines. So we had a couple unfortunate deaths here, guys. I want to recognize here in the world of pop culture, music, and all that. One of the greatest guitar players of all time. So I think Rolling Stone rated him the 5th greatest guitar player of all time. The great Jeff Beck passed away last Wednesday, 78 years of age. Like you're looking like you hadn't heard this, Nick. So,
I had not heard this. I did not know that. And then there was a part of me that goes, didn't that happen already a few years ago?
No.
Mandela effect.
So he was inducted into the Hall of Fame twice, actually, with the Yardbirds. Excuse me, Yardbirds with Eric Clapton. So he was hired to replace Eric Clapton. Excuse me, when Eric Clapton left, and then as a solo artist.
Just an easy job. Why not?
Yeah.
Make it.
He came on and replaced another great guitar player who's questionable
whatever. But he can't play the guitar, Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
And then after he joined, he was replaced by Jimmy Page. So how about that? It's pretty good legacy in that band. Yeah,
it's a good lineup.
So
who followed him? Jesus? I mean,
really? How about that? That's pretty something.
Jesus could not fucking shred. Jesus could. He was a carpenter, but he couldn't fucking shred. Everybody knows that.
You trying to say Jesus can't play a guitar?
Yeah.
he was good. He held good rhythm though. Like,
yep.
He just wouldn't lead.
Yeah.
So, were you guys Jeff Beck fans? I mean, your thoughts on his passing? Any reflections, Nick?
I know Jeff Beck from a lot of appearances with a lot of bands that I do like, a lot of artists that I'm big fans of. I feel like I say this with a lot of people that pass on, that I'm not as familiar with their direct work, but furthermore, it's a testament to kind of how important they were to like a lot of people that I look up to and a lot of artists that I like. I definitely was, I knew Jeff Beck. You'd always see him. He's always, like you said, regarded in the conversation of one of the, best guitarists, or certainly one of the best guitarists of all time. So yeah, it's weird though. I had not heard that, and especially that's kind of what shocked me, is a name as big as Jeff Beck passing away. I thought, how did I miss that? I don't know how I didn't hear about that, but yeah, I mean, fucking insanely talented, and definitely inspired a lot of other great musicians, great guitarists along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Dean, any thoughts?
I know every time like this second guy or third guy goes, it's hard to, especially when Nick put it so perfectly.
That's fine.
He
play that back on loop.
Right.
Nick said it so perfectly.
You don't have to add more. I mean,
perfectly.
Sure. I mean, Nick, he definitely said it well.
You don't even need that on loop. I'm actually going to come into your bedroom tonight, sneak in through the window, and I'm just going to whisper in your ear all night. You did it perfectly.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, and yeah, rest in peace, Jeff Beck.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nick, it's like when you come around second in Dean's house. It's hard to.
Yeah.
No, but, bullshit. Nick always comes first.
No, but I agree with you. I mean, Jeff Beck certainly. It's like you get those type of artists that. How cool to be at one of your legacy is how many people, like you said, influenced somebody else, some kid to pick up a guitar. That's pretty awesome. So, and if you haven't heard this, by the way, I didn't hear it until after he passed away. But his induction into the Hall of Fame with the Yardbirds, he got up on stage and he said something along the lines of, these guys tell me I should be proud of my accomplishments, but they kicked me out of the band, so fuck you guys.
That's awesome.
There's so many words, but I think he said, fuck them, or something. That's pretty sweet. And then we are shooting this on Thursday, January the 19th. Another rock icon passed away just today, at aged 81. David Crosby passed away from... that's where I got the Byrds and Yardbirds mixed up. He played for the Byrds, David Crosby did, back in his time, where he started, and then, of course, went on huge success with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and then Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Just amazing quintet of musicians and talent. So just you could rattle off a bunch of hits with those guys here, but yeah, it's sad. So he stopped touring, let's see here, because he had tendonitis in both hands. He announced that recently. So he was sort of wrapping up his music touring career, and I don't know the cause of death here. Didn't say necessarily. Oh, it just said after a long illness. So he was battling something for some time. So that's a shame. So thoughts on David Crosby?
Yes.
You want to go ahead?
David Crosby has a special place in my heart.
Okay.
Not just David Crosby, but all of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, because that is my childhood. From vacation trips to when the music that you grew up, your parents listening to, and made you love so much, like Nick, your father, and Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
I had that with the Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. So David Crosby is embedded into my childhood. When I now go on trips, I put that. I actually bought the CD just a couple of years ago because I'm like, wow, I don't actually have a physical copy, and I wanted that physical copy to slip into the disc, and you know what I mean, kind of have. So when I go on, my son could listen to what I did. You know, that whole album cover to cover. Yeah, so. The again, he was 81. I mean, and the life that he lived, incredible. I mean, we should be so lucky to have a quarter of what he went through and experienced and influenced, like we said about the other guy. It's just what an incredible life, what an incredible musician, and he knocked up Melissa Etheridge, so that's neat.
Right, I was going to say, wasn't he was a sperm donor.
He was a sperm donor. He didn't actually fuck her, but he was a sperm donor.
That's very eloquently. He didn't fuck her, but he was
right. He didn't give her the old wiener meat, but he did donate sperm.
Yeah, very good. I can't say more than that, Dean. So yeah,
it's hard to follow wiener meat, isn't it?
Wiener meat. Yeah, it is.
But you always try.
It is. Depends whose it is.
That's true.
Right. No, I didn't realize this. His last final release was just came out last month, live at the Capitol Theater. So I'm sure you can find it probably on streaming and check that out. So
that's fun.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, in all sincerity, Dean, I'm sure if I was an artist and I heard that, you know, my music was something enjoyed by a father passed down to his son to the next son, that's pretty awesome. That's the end of the day, really.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Okay. More kind of bad news here in the world of pop culture, I guess, because depending on your point of view. Alec Baldwin, this came out in news today. Looks like he's going to be charged with involuntary manslaughter for the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust. Now, you might remember this was last year.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Alec Baldwin shot a gun that he assumed, which I guess you should assume, is not loaded with an actual live bullet on a movie set. And it actually fired around and hurt somebody and killed this poor lady on the set here. So punishment could be up to 5 years behind bars. And so the prosecutor is basically saying it's a disregard to safety. So he's saying that everybody involved. Well, the prosecutor is saying that everybody involved with handing him the gun, inspecting the gun.
If anyone had done their job, if everyone had done their job along the way, this never would have happened. They would still be alive. So they're talking to everyone from the person that handled the weapon themselves to the person who directing the film to the people. There's so many basically safeguards that should have been.
So when it got to him, to handing him the gun, the actor playing pretend, firing a pretend bullet, by the time that gun got to him, he shouldn't have had to have looked down the chamber and check double. It should have been like quadruple checked or whatever before it even got to him. Why is it on him? Yes, it's unfortunate and it sucks, and he has to live with that every day, and that's awful. But how is it on him to be the last safeguard? I guess if you're now an actor, you're going to be. I guess every actor's going to fucking check, right?
I'm guessing. Sure. I would be willing to bet you that this whole prosecution is nothing more than a legal maneuver to secure the bag, if you will. That you're going to get some, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that people shouldn't. I'm not saying that people shouldn't seek compensation for what happened. Obviously, this person's family, it's a terrible thing that happened. It's a terrible accident. I have no feelings personally. I can't imagine anything nefarious was going on that like anybody planned this or any. It was an accident on all sides. Should there have been multiple checkpoints on the gun probably along the way? Yes, maybe there was. I don't know. But I mean, when I see the headline of Alec Baldwin personally being prosecuted for this, that reads to me like this is kind of a legal maneuver. Like we have to this is the person that shot the gun, so we have to press the charges on him. I doubt that you're going to see Alec Baldwin do any time behind bars.
I would hope not.
No. He certainly was. This was terrific, an accident for him as well. So I just wonder if this is not just kind of a legal maneuver just to be like, well, we got to prosecute somebody. We're going to prosecute the person who fired the weapon, but that'll get knocked down. This will get pushed back. It'll get, they'll chip away at it. But at the end of the day, in order to make the case or whatever, you probably have to you have to prosecute somebody. I kind of think that's probably what this is.
It simply comes down to this.
I don't know how many people out there think Alec Baldwin went out and tried to kill this person,
Donald Trump. That's it.
I'm sure he probably
sure.
Yeah,
Yep, sure.
Right. Yeah. Just very bad impressions of me. He's out killing people. It's terrible. It's awful. Yeah.
What it comes down to is if there is some tainted lettuce that comes out of a farmer's crop, whatever, and it gets passed on to, the farmer picks it, puts it in the thing, and there's so many steps before the waiter walks it out and hands it to the person at the table. Is the waiter going to be in trouble? Right. Does the waiter get blamed for the tainted lettuce that had so many different levels of people that could have checked and should have checked?
Well,
it's not the waiter's fault.
No, I think we all agree with that, but I tend to agree with Nick. It's probably a way to secure some type of settlement from the studio.
Sure.
To the estate of that poor lady.
Just annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Some positive news for Marvel and Disney Studios. You may remember that China banned showing Marvel movies in China. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I don't remember that.
I did hear about that.
Why? Why?
Because I watch the news and I read stuff.
Not you.
Oh
no, I don't know if they ever really said
why. Why would I ask you a question and then look for an answer? No.
But that's why. That's why I know things.
No, but they just ended the band. So the ban, not band, the ban. Excuse me.
We're breaking up the band.
Yes.
So why though? Why were they not?
Rooftop concert.
Let's see here. So
Thanos and the Snappers.
They gave no official explanation.
I like that a lot, actually.
Thank you.
Experts have speculated that reasons could include the inclusion of LGBTQ characters from the Eternals and stuff. Comments critical of China by people involved in the films, like Eternals director Chloe Zhao, and broader U.S.-China tensions over trade and other issues. So it was a way for China to get back at the States in banning them. And then obviously these films make tons of money in China if they're shown. But again, they ended the ban. So it's going to be great news for Marvel and
the
Disney.
Chinese people. I mean, I mean, that's who it's best for. I mean, good. Big corporations get more money. Fuck them. But let's be happy for the people that get to watch these movies and enjoy them as much as we do.
And then they go and watch the Eternals, and they go, "This is what we were holding out for.
Right?
We didn't miss anything."
Aww.
And see Avatar.
Like somebody that was all excited about having sex with me, all excited, waited, and then they're like, "Oh, that's what we waited for." Huh.
Yep. Yep. Kind of like
not as
a letdown despite the soundtrack, Nick.
That's right.
That's
the
right.
Stone Cold Steve Austin glass shattering set it up to be so epic, and then it was. I don't think all the glass actually hit the floor. It was done. Like what do you?
That's great.
But it timed well because it happened the first few seconds. So
yeah. Let's see. The Way of Water Avatar, it's earned more than $200 million over there since it was released last month. So it's already people are going to see the movies in China.
Good.
Again.
Nice.
So yeah, like you say, good for them at the end of the day, the folks over there who wants to see these movies. All right. I want to get your take on this here. So an artist is going on tour to celebrate her 40 years since her first performance.
Performance.
Yeah,
40 years.
40 years.
So
any idea who this might be?
So
what's 40 years ago?
We're talking.
Well, I'm 42.
83.
84.
First performance in 83. Is it Celine Dion?
It is not.
No.
Ooh, let me guess. Is it?
Wait. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Take your guess.
Is it Nick's mom?
No, it is not. Nick, what's your second guess?
Is this like a comeback tour, or is this a person that's been active for all these years?
Would that have been your mom's tour as well? Come on her back.
Is it like
I mean, she's had new music over time, but she has a huge library of songs. One of the. Go ahead.
Okay.
Is it Madonna?
It is Madonna.
Oh,
look at that.
Nice.
Yes, so 64-year-old Madonna, is getting out there. 35
Looking like a velociraptor.
City. Yeah.
I was way off because, like I said, Nick's mom, and she's clearly in her 20s. Last time I saw her, she looks just stunning.
Yeah, so she'll be in Cleveland. I think it's in August. She'll hit Cleveland in our local area here. But yeah, I don't know. I would go see this. I don't know if I'm going to go buy a ticket necessarily, but I like Madonna.
But she looks so youthful, and her skin is so tight. Actually, you know how they do that? There's a spot on her back that you hook up one of those things, and they suck the air out of her, like the that you do for
Stretch
clothes
Armstrong?
when you. Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
The vacuum bags.
Yes, vacuum bag. That's the word I was looking for. Vacuum bags. There
you go. Don't
they do that before going on stage.
Yeah. No, just a huge library. There's tons of songs of hers I like.
Yeah,
it would be a fun show for sure. I doubt I'm going to seek out the tickets, but I think it would be a fun show. Are you a Madonna fan, Nick?
Not really. I find her annoying. Not
enough.
like her music is fantastic. I just find the person to be a bit annoying. She's never done anything wrong. She's not, it's not like
me personally.
Certainly more deplorable people that I could dislike. And I don't mean, if somebody if they were like, hey, I have 2 tickets to Madonna tonight in Cleveland. Do you want them? They're free. I want someone to go. I'm fucking taking them. And me and Brian are going, and we're going to hold each other, and we're going to sing like a virgin to each other. And it's going to be wonderful. But no, I mean, I'm not, nothing against her. I'm not a fan, but yeah, definitely iconic. There's no two ways about it. Like she's an iconic. But yeah, I'm not. This is not one that I would be, like you said, seeking out tickets to go to. But it'd be hard to turn away tickets to go see somebody of that stature, Yeah. And like you said before, we knew who it was. Definitely a big catalog, but has not been super active. In recent
she's
years.
Been super active.
You know what I mean? Well, sure, but in the music industry, in the music space, she hasn't been putting out new music to my knowledge.
She's been putting out music. I'm sorry, this is awkward.
Yeah. So, what about you, Dean? Are you a big Madonna fan over there?
She's all right
with your Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young CD. Are you a big Madonna fan? Also,
no, I mean, the words of the songs, her early stuff. We all do. She was fine in the 80s. People loved her. She's, like you said, she's an icon. Would I go? No. If you handed me tickets, like you, Nick, I'd probably go. I mean, just for the story, just for I saw an icon, before they took the air out and she kind of deflated on the ground. Yeah. So, I'd probably go.
All right.
We'd probably all go to a lot of concerts if someone just gave you free tickets and we're like, here.
Well, that's one. Which one? Who wouldn't you go to if given free tickets? And they have to be like a known bigger act. Maybe that's a question for another time.
I like that question. Save that question. Yeah. There's plenty I wouldn't want to make it. I travel and park and anyway. Madonna, I would though.
Do podcasts count?
I was gonna make that joke before you said it had to be better. I was gonna be like, I wouldn't go to a live taping of the show. No, absolutely not.
Clearly, you've proven that.
I was gonna say I've not gone to live taping of the show. I think.
That's right. I'm even on the fucking show. Yeah,
I ain't going to that.
Yeah,
tickets are free. We need you there. I'm not going. No.
All right. So our ask an idiot question. So I almost said
That's
idiot
good.
inquiry. Yeah, ask an idiot question.
See, you said it was hard to say, and now you can't stop saying it.
I know. So, there's new chatbot AI technology out there. I don't know if you've really seen much of this here, but it's becoming more prevalent. So it's a program you could pull up for free and ask it questions, right? And it will give you answers based on AI
programming, technology, whatever. So some people are using this technology for fun. Some people are using it, some people have said that it could be dangerous if you're not careful. Like somebody claimed they asked it how to build a nuclear weapon and it gave them instructions. I don't know how true that is necessarily, right? But anyway, so as this becomes more and more, the technology is pretty interesting and fascinating. So you can ask it questions. It could, there are some risks to it. Some people say, well, people could in theory hack it and give you information that they want you to have and da-da-da. I don't know. But so kind of making some of the news recently here is some universities are worried about this technology because you could literally pull this up. It's online. You can look up chat. Let's see, what's the prevalent one here? Chat GPT, and ask it to explain something to you, and it can give you a full conversation that you could use as like an essay paper. And it's not plagiarism necessarily, right?
Mm-mm. Right.
So it's a whole thing here. So some universities are kind of thinking about this here too. They have to implement, they're thinking about how it's going to impact their teaching, how it may perhaps impact the classroom rules, maybe. So that's our ask an idiot question. I want to know a couple of things here. So first of all, have you heard, what do you think about this technology? And should universities put some guidelines like this out there to guard against it? Or some people may argue, hey, listen, if you use this technology to write an essay and pass, you're not really learning anything yourself necessarily and getting something out of it, sharpening your own skills. And that may hinder you later in the future. I don't know.
Before we get into the university debate of how does this affect, I have a question. This is for public use right now, right? Anybody can access this and have a account. This is a smart engine. Yep. It's an AI chat, so this is to act like a person.
Yep.
Can we interview it?
Yes,
I think you can.
I would like to do that.
I actually just watched something on this, so I can speak a little bit to this.
I want to ask it if it would go to a Madonna concert for free and things like that. We'll just have it on and interview it and see what it says.
I mean, yes, but it would give you a quick, simple answer. I was watching, for example, the YouTube channel Star Wars Theory. This guy, just talks about Star Wars and whatnot. And he did it in a live session on a live stream. He asked it, and he pulled up the thing next to his face so you could see him typing and see the response.
Okay.
And guys, this answers in seconds. He wrote in what something about like what would it be if George Lucas didn't sell Disney, and bump within seconds, just rattling off a whole premise.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
People were what was the one guy? He wrote something about like write an American sitcom, and it did. And just started firing it off. It's in real time. It's so fast. It takes the just general knowledge of like everything
off the internet. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like and we should do this, and we can read this off next week if one of us wants to do this.
Good idea.
Ask it something about us. Yeah. And it will find on the internet, us and our information, tell us about the Convincing Idiots podcast, and it will generate instantly all this.
The Convincing Idiots podcast is three losers who get together so no one can listen to them every week. Right?
the one thing that like the Star Wars guy did, he asked give us an alternate version of something about something about Star Wars. And the only thing it got wrong was like Commander Cody wore a red stripe, not a blue stripe. That was the only thing it fucking got wrong. Like everything else was so accurate.
Jesus.
Like it's scary. Should professors be scared? Absolutely. And it's not scared, but it's cheating. You say, hey, I need a book report on Huckleberry Finn. bop, 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 it fires it out. Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna. So it's not just not just college, but like high school, middle school, bosses. Well, I guess if your bosses, he doesn't give a shit how you get the information. Depending on the job, they just want the work done. But yeah, it is cheating. It really is. But it's fascinating and yet really fucking scary because what's the next step? You see. And I'm sorry if I'm rambling, guys. Interrupt me if you need to. But you see like these the deep fake videos.
Yeah.
Where like you saw the guy, he's standing split screen of like Morgan Freeman and himself, and he's talking. He's doing and it looks like Morgan Freeman is freely talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so real. You combine that with this, I mean, Jesus, what's the next step? It's scary. Yeah. Like, I don't know what the next step is, but
we are watching ourselves become obsolete in front of our very eyes.
Absolutely.
Like we are.
No, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
You've now taken out you've taken out cashiers, and now the next step, sitcom writers. We're fucked.
The great backbone of society. Sitcom writers and cashiers. Damn it. Yeah, I mean it is really scary shit. And I have a question though. Well, this is, but I have an inquiry inside of an inquiry, if you will. Would we be as alarmed by this type of stuff had no one ever seen Terminator? Like, would we be as afraid of this stuff if we didn't have this underlying feeling of like the uprising of the machines? Would we look at it that way?
Simply no.
Without Terminator.
Because Terminator put a danger to it.
Right.
If you remember the movie War Games with Matthew Broderick, that put a different level of fear of computers because computers are possible to like go rogue. It didn't necessarily go rogue, but like they thought at the moment it was going rogue and to start a nuclear war.
Yeah.
Movies like that, yes, put a fear of technology into us, but that's still creepy as shit.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know that. Do you? I mean, in all sincerity, do you think AI is the next step? Will AI become
sentient?
Aware? Yeah, is that what you're thinking, or in all seriousness, do you think that there's a possibility, or when you say we become obsolete, what do you mean?
I mean, logically, there doesn't appear to be a pathway for that because that's not what it's designed to do, right? That's not. And at the end of the day, the people that create this stuff are kind of you think in control, right? The problem is when you see how intelligent these things can be, or if you give something the entire scape of the internet to learn and create
everything,
and that's where there's that wiggle where it's like, well, okay, but so it's already on paper this is smarter than a human being. It just is.
Correct.
You can't ask any human being this, right? You can't, like what Dean said in the example, the Star Wars recount the whatever. They give me the premise of Star Wars. No human being is going to make it that accurate, right?
And that fast.
So the idea that this is a artificial as it may be, a thinking entity, the fact that it's not out of the question to think somewhere along the line something as intelligent as it is could gain the knowledge of what it means to be aware, what it means to be in control, what it means to be, this is all insane out there crazy shit.
And then
but I'm just saying that is
it has
the
all that
possibility
information
that it could be is like that. It's scary if you really think of that as a realistic possibility. It's fucking scary.
Nick, if you put all of that information together, like you just said, and then take out empathy, that's where it becomes dangerous for an AI to become, to do and be sentient and knowledgeable, have all the information, have all the tools, all the power, and no empathy.
Yeah, that's what you get. That's you're dangerously close to becoming Dean at that point, Nick.
This is Robot Red Foreman.
Cheers.
No, but I think that it certainly is. It's probably going to continue to erode human thinking,
Yeah.
and and the skill of I'm a young person. I have an assignment. Instead of going through the legwork and learning something on my own, how to research, how to type, how to formulate a thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in here and get the answer. Now you may get a good grade from that, but it's good. You're going to pay. You're not going to.
Society will pay for it.
Society will pay for it, and it's going to hinder your opportunities in life. Frankly, if you're not able to do those things.
Look at the earliest version of this.
Yeah.
The earliest version of this is when your teacher said, "No, you're not allowed to use calculators because you'll never have them at your fingertips as an adult."
Lying ass teachers.
Right.
Well,
now look at us.
Honestly, now that you say that's an interesting comparison, right? Because
I'm really smart.
Well, no, because I mean, it really.
I didn't use calculators.
Sure.
No, but for in the
I use my brain.
In day-to-day living, basic math, you don't necessarily need to be able to sit down and show your work to perform addition and subtraction and division. You're going to use a calculator like most people will do, right? So that skill for me, I know it's definitely, I don't know if I could sit down and really do a long division by hand anymore. I don't know. I'd have to really think through it.
Do you know how happy I was when they started putting the actual number tip things at the bottom of the thing so you didn't have to do the math of the decimal point shit?
Right.
Oh, that's what 20% is? Fuck, let's do it. All right.
No, but to compare, some people may argue the other side of it, to where the technology is available. Why shouldn't I use it to help me gather a thought or have a quote unquote conversation that I'm interested in, and to use that information elsewhere? So I don't know. I think I don't know. So do you think there's more of a? Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying when the time comes and a guy with futuristic clothing comes up to you and says, "We have to stop him," fucking listen, please.
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he's nude or not, just listen to him.
Yeah, that's right. Brian, how happy are you that you're going to be like dead before this all comes to fruition?
Jesus,
like you're so close to the end. Like, how exciting is that for you?
Wow,
dickhead.
Wow. I'm going to use this technology in my sentient being as a Highlander. It's just another tool I'm going to use to absorb energy and thoughts and souls of my podcast enemies.
Yes.
Right. So.
Asshole.
Become stronger and more. I'd say actually Dean might die before any of us. He might not get to see it either.
Before this fucking podcast is over.
Well, Dean's in most of a hurry.
Yeah, Dean's trying to die first.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Nick just sped it up there. Jesus.
Yeah. I am older than both of you, but I'm not as much in a hurry. I want to take my time. I want to enjoy the pipes on the porch and chatting with the AI bot and all that type of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So overall, guys, do you think it's more of a positive thing or a negative detriment on society and future problems?
Scary because it's unknown. We don't fully. I mean, we're thinking worst case scenarios here. I think there can definitely be there definitely can be upsides to this, but we're automatically jumping to all the worst case scenarios. So just like many things, we might be making it out to be a bigger issue than what it would be or whatever. But it is good to keep these things in mind, just to be aware. But all in all, it's incredible. It is wonderous what we can do with technology, but it's a little creepy. It's
all the steps that society takes. You know what I mean? Like we said, search with the calculator and moves to computers. Like I can look at the who would ever thought an F-150 would go from a diesel engine? They now have electric trucks that fucking will charge up for for miles and miles and miles, and it has the same torque and same power and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me?
It'll be driverless soon too.
Okay. Right. Exactly.
We're seeing that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that'll be awesome. I can't wait to get chauffeured around by a computer. That's gonna be amazing. Yeah.
Nick, there's good and bad. We are looking at the bad, but of course it's going to save countless lives before it kills all of them. So that's my opinion.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I guess if there's anything, is if it does encourage, I don't know, if it does encourage some people to go in and use it to learn stuff. I'm interested in this subject matter. I would just want to have a quote unquote conversation and learn about something there and get a lot more information quickly. Maybe there's some positives to that versus I'm sitting on my fucking phone and scrolling through TikTok videos, except for Convincing Idiots videos.
No, you have to stop at those. They're fantastic.
And
they're even better.
Other than that, right? So if you learn something in that respect, so maybe there's some positives.
You're not going to learn anything, but they're entertaining. Entertaining as hell.
Yeah. I tend to think though you're probably going to see a lot more universities stepping back, and they're probably it's interesting. You're going to have to put probably rules in syllabuses and etc. to say that if you use a chat bot, you're going to have to use it as a reference, just like a book or something along that line. So,
the technology's already so advanced. He said something about being entertaining, and the phone removed him.
Eat my asshole.
Hey guys, sucked him away. All right,
so you guys couldn't hear me?
Not the last couple of moments there.
Okay, good.
I heard the important stuff. They eat my assholes and whatnot. Yep.
That's just an invitation, pal.
Chatbot was deemed entertaining in the last 5 minutes.
No.
That is why we removed him.
No.
Elimination required. Elimination required.
Looking at right. While we're talking, I tried to create an account here for the chatbot, but it does a double verification, and I can't get to it right now. So we'll play around with that soon. So,
okay.
Yeah. We want something. Ask it something about it. A review of us, or tell us about convincing it. Something.
Yeah, I want to interview it, and I want to ask it if it plans to take over the world, and then we're gonna probably accidentally wake up its consciousness, and then we're gonna create a monster. I think.
Yep.
It's gonna be exciting. So tune in next week. That'll be fun.
I like it.
I just assumed that you would be the cause of the end of the world, Nick. I just didn't know how. This is fascinating to learn. This is it. This is how it happens.
This is how it ends. Yep.
That's right. Well, before the end of the world here, guys, before you run out of time, you might be considering a tattoo.
You should.
An end of world tattoo.
Life short.
End of days tattoo.
I like that. And you probably could get such a tattoo.
Perhaps ask your AI bot where you should get a tattoo.
You know what? You got the nuclear bomb here.
That's right.
And Brian, why don't you tell us who did this?
Who did that work is Golden Heart Tattoo, Scott Oswald at Golden Heart Tattoo. Go check them out, Scott and his partners, at Golden Heart Norton on Facebook. If you're in the Northeast Ohio, Barberton, Norton, Wadsworth area, Akron area. You can also find them on their website, goldenhearttattoos.com. Give them a call, 234-706-2982. And you know what? If you're not sure what tattoo to get, honestly, ask the chatbot. Ask the chatbot what type of tattoo you should get, and just go with it. Whatever it is, just go with it. And you might be one of the first people that to get yourself a chatbot AI-inspired tattoo. How about that? That's pretty cool. Yeah,
that is cool.
Neat.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of talk about the fear of technology and things like that, but technology has done a lot of great things for us. I mean, it has taken simple everyday things that we use and electrified them, such as the simple bicycle that we're familiar with. Well, let me tell you something. Not all technology is bad. Our friends at RPM Bike Shop can tell you all about it, okay? Electric bikes are the way of the future, okay? You can pedal, or you can take a load off and let the bike do the work, okay? They're located conveniently in Carrollton, Ohio, not too far from here. So all you'd have to do to find them, you might be wondering, where can I find this wonder of the world? You can search on Facebook, RPM Bike Shop. You can also go to their website, rpmbikeshop.com, or you can give them a ring-a-ding on the phone the old-fashioned way at 330-808-7792 and ride your way into your new electric future on an electric bike from RPM Bike Shop today.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yes. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break here.
Can you hear me?
And then, yes. Yes. Can you hear us?
You're not moving, though.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to restart my phone. I'll see you guys after.
Chatbot, please freeze the least entertaining person of the podcast.
It worked!
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Wow, look at that. Technology is a
That's
wondrous
eerie.
thing, isn't it?
That's eerie.
Incredible. Increable.
Yes.
Wow.
All right, so come back for more amazing technology. For our final segment, what if we could talk to our younger selves? How would that conversation, what would be some things that we would say?
The future is bright. It's a Deanless future, and it's bright.
That's right. Could be. We'll check it out after the break.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Star Wars trilogy is back on the big screen and in selected bags of Doritos. Everyone's excited, some more than others.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope.
Chewie, don't worry about me. You gotta rescue the princess now.
Luke, I am your father. It's true.
Now celebrate with Star Wars 3D motion cards. Collect all 6 in specially marked bags of Doritos tortilla chips.
Yoda, I've come to complete my training.
And welcome back to segment 3 of Convincing Idiots. We're fucking now. And we are getting into our third and final segment of the
Spicy.
episode. Yes, that's right. So that might be
Good thing my pants are off.
that might be the way present day Nick enters a third episode of a podcast segment. But Nick at 16 years old, let's say, he would not have entered a podcast in that way. Because he wouldn't have entered a podcast at all because they didn't exist when Nick was 16. So
Are you sure?
that's a little bit. If they did, they were very. They were not known about very much. They were not very prevalent in society as the way that they are now. I think that's due in part to us. But I'm not here to toot our horn. I mean, so we'll move on. But
I'll toot it.
that's that ties into. I appreciate that. That ties into what we're going to talk about this next segment. I didn't introduce. I am Millennial Nick. This is Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean, and we are here to talk on our third and final segment a little bit about we have a musing.
He said
we have a musing, an idea, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
How would we? This was an idea of Dean's, I believe. What would we guide 16-year-old version of ourselves? Or I don't know if 16 is necessarily the set on date. Teenage version of ourselves, right? What kind of advice would you give? Knowing what you know now, living the life you have lived, experiences that you have, knowledge you have gained, what would you pass along to teenage version of you? And I'm going to let Dean take it from here. If you want to lay out a little bit what you're thinking with this question, what kind of specifics, if there are specifics. So I will hand it over to our Zennial Dean here to explain a little bit further in depth.
Sorry, I was distracted by a little more Brian's body than we're normally allowed to see. So
that's what's under there.
It's so hot in here.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
crazy. No, the original
if I
idea
was
of
talking to teenage Nick, I'd say stick around for that third segment. You go see some midriff, boy.
The original idea of this really came down to one question, and then it steamrolled into this, what would you tell yourself? But you guys answer this very first question, and then we'll go from here.
Okay.
Would you like teenage you? And would teenage you like you right now? That's where this started, from that question. And then we'll go on to the advice or whatever you want to have that conversation with you and yourself. But would you like teenage you, and would teenage you like you today? Brian, go.
Okay, so what I was grabbing here off camera, so
Would I like
Please
this
be.
young
Oh
man?
my God!
Wow.
Oh, it is
I
so
like
hot in
Teenage
here.
Brian. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
What are you holding?
The trombone. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, fuck yeah.
in hopes
Yeah.
to get a rusty trombone. I'd see. Oh, look at him.
So on YouTube, I'll post this picture. This
You
is
look
my
like you're
full-
dressed as Austin Powers, but not ironically. Like, what?
Yeah, we had the weird. Yeah, look at that. We had that weird scarf thing in band. And it was like a long red trench coat thing.
I don't know what's more frilly, the shirt or the mullet escaping like Doc Ock out the back of the side of his fucking head.
It's got Medusa curls on the back of his head there. Jesus.
That's right. And
the only thing that froze was that tiny caterpillar across his lip.
That's right. A fucking woolly, it's woolly bear season here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Dick Goddard would be proud, buddy.
Yep, I'm gonna do the rest of the show like this.
Well,
Hey,
Dick
guys.
Goddard, because vagina wants to.
So what
thank you. Hold on, let's stop and all of us thank Brian.
Let's appreciate.
Right
Thank
for
you, Brian.
Such a wonderful gift. And ladies and gentlemen, if you stayed this long, you're welcome. And also go to the YouTube video to watch what you just saw.
Yep. I'll
If
post
anything,
the picture.
It's framed. Do you keep that framed?
Jesus, go to our YouTube video. Go to our YouTube. Convincing Idiots on YouTube.
This is my senior year band picture, Kenmore High School. It's so funny to me. This is my mom's frame. I hang it on the wall here because it's funny to me. I just hang it here. Yeah, in my office. Yeah,
that is fantastic.
How do we get a copy? Is more my question.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll probably put that on merch, maybe too. That's
Absolutely. I want a
Wow.
T-shirt with that on it, please and thank you.
Man,
do we have any dildos that we can put it on? I think that would really sell.
Oh yeah. So like hotcakes.
Yeah. Just turn on the vibration and the hair just wispily flows in the background. I like this.
And it goes like the trombone thing. Yep. What's funny too is off camera over here, you can't see it. The actual trombone in that picture is also hanging right over here off camera in my office.
I want to walk through your house and see the Museum of Brian that exists.
You've
there.
never been?
I've not been up in that room. I've been to your house. I've never been upstairs. I've never been up there.
It's one of those like a movie. Like when you go there and you go to take a piss, you have to sneak into every room just to see what like hidden treasures are in there. Yeah, it's something to behold.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have had it as well if you want to be 50 plus years old and living alone. Yep. That's what Dean said. No, not Dean said. I've had some of Peyton's like when she was in high school, and we had little gatherings over here every so often, like a fire or something like that. And I was tickled. I loved the fact that she invited friends over here. That was very special to me, frankly. But some of the teenage boys were like, "Wow, so much cool stuff!" And I would tell them, "Hey, you can have this too." I don't recommend it necessarily for you,
but it can be yours.
But if you would like to have it and just have anything you want up on your walls and in your home, it's very simple. Just don't get married, but
That's
you
right.
be 40, 50 years old, and maybe you're happy with that, maybe you're not.
There you go. So Brian, you told those teenagers that. What would you tell teenage Brian? In this conversation, you get a time travel machine, you and him in a room.
Let's get to the first question. The first question first.
Yes.
I never answered the first question.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got way sidetracked, but worth it.
My younger self, no. My younger self would be annoying to me right now.
Okay.
It would be super annoying because that'd be a super annoying teenage kid, dumbass, trying to be funny.
I would love him.
Just, I don't know. So
I just run my fingers through his hair.
In some respects, I would like some things about me back then, as far as like my respect to my parents and different things, the love of my friends and things like that. But for the most part, I would find my younger self probably very annoying.
And the flip side, what does teenage Brian think of what he's become? Just in the hour meeting,
I think that young man would be like just amazed that wow, you seem so old.
You could grow an actual mustache?
Oh yeah, now that's sure from younger self to see like, the full beard, because right now it's funny. It's so when I was that age, my dad at the time had a full beard, a graying beard, and everything else. So I'd probably be like, "Wow, you kind of remind me of Dad in some respect." And you definitely get a different appreciation of why is your dad so gruff and things at times. Yeah, that's life. That's
right.
What life could do to you.
Life kicks you in the balls and never stops until you die.
Yeah. However, if I would show up like this, maybe with like
I wish I had my pipe to smoke at that point.
That would have been a fitting moment for it. Absolutely.
That's right. My younger self might think it would be interesting if I'm wearing like a superhero shirt or some type of T-shirt I normally wear or something like that. So that might be interesting. Like, okay, well, you're not just totally off the rails necessarily. It's like the fact that you still like things and wear things that you like at this age, even to where 17 years old, you like superheroes, 54 years old, you like superheroes and all that shit,
Wow,
so that'd be kind of neat.
So you still get to wear superhero T-shirts?
Right.
What did that cost you?
Right, back then. That's right.
The life of solitude.
We're scrapping this fucking topic. We're just going to do this for the next hour. Just Brian and his teenage self. I don't give a shit about us, Nick. Let's just go on Brian for an hour. Fuck it.
Absolutely.
That's it. There's your question. I would not like my other self, and other self would be, weirded out by how old I looked, but kind of maybe thought some aspects might be kind of cool and interesting. Hopefully, that's it.
Okay, Nick.
Yeah. Okay. So would present day me like teenage me? Yes and no. I was very
3
similar.
years ago.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I've grown a lot in the last, handful of months here. I similar to what Brian said is it was like, I think there's a lot of qualities I would have had that would have been that I would now look back and go, man, you're such a douche. Like, oh my God, stop. Like trying to, just there's certain things when you're a teenager that you're just like, you don't even know, like, just stop trying so hard. Stop, you're being a douchebag. So
stop taking your hair for granted.
There's definitely an element of that. Yes. Yes. I would like that. I had a lot more hair. Oh my God. I would enjoy that. I'd be like, you look magnificent.
Can we talk? No, I just want to run my fingers through your hair, please, for an hour.
A douche sometimes, but your hair is magnificent. Yeah, but I think, like Brian said too, like whoa, shit. I was a pretty good kid, so like I think I would, in some ways, I think I was better then as well. Like I was more
pretentious.
I don't know. I was just a more hopeful person, I think. I was less, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I was less jaded by things, maybe. Yeah. So I think I would appreciate that about younger me.
When you spend that much time with Robin, that's bound to happen.
But yeah, I think there's definitely, it would be a little bit of both. Like, I felt like I was a good kid, and I probably would look back on me younger and go, you got some ways to go, but that's, this is fine.
That's good.
So, but me today.
So would you like him?
Would I like him?
Yeah, that's a starting question.
Yes,
would you like
because okay. I still know what I know, right? And it's endearing to me. It's endearing to see. It would be endearing to see me of yesteryear. So yes, I would. And I would like him.
Does he like you,
despite his shortcomings? Does he like me now? I think he does. Absolutely. I'm okay. I don't mean to toot my own horn here or anything, but I'm proud.
You mean you get to go play actual hockey once a week?
Right?
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. My biggest thing is even
so
as
I give up hair, but I get to play hockey.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'm still doing it. That is a feather in the cap. I'm still doing it all these years later. So there's that.
Right. There you go.
But no, I definitely, even from a young age, I mean, I had a good family life. I had a good family dynamic with me and my mom and dad, and I always look forward to the day that I could be a dad and have a family. So for that reason specifically, I would be in complete awe of the life that I have now. I would certainly look at Robin and go, how the fuck did you do that? Like, how did you land a girl like this? I don't know. but I would be blown away by that.
And then,
what, hey, don't ask how. Just it's here we are now, right? Okay, you got it. You've secured the situation. We're good.
No, well, we'll get into the conversation itself, but like one thing that you could explain to younger Nick, is just explain to him how New Year's Eves are what we do at New Year's Eve. With the giant Nerf war with your kids,
right.
He'd be out over the moon. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely, because that's fun. And then, like, just my family dynamic, I couldn't be happier or feel more fortunate to have that. So
the greatest brother-in-law in the world.
Yeah, absolutely, yes, absolutely. I would look at that, and like Brian said, I look around this room that I'm in. This, in many respects, is an ode to my childhood. I still display my figures and my toys and things that I even had as a child in here. And, the fact that, as you mentioned, with like the music and stuff, I've gotten to pass along my love for like Power Rangers and Star Wars and things like that and relive it again through my kids. And the Spider-Man stuff and that my kids love. So all that stuff would be just insanely awesome to me. It all came to fruition. All the things that I really wanted out of an adult life, I end up getting, and this is what it looks like, and it's incredible, and it's even better than I imagined in some ways, probably because it's real. So, I think I'd be very proud of me now. I might be a little disappointed that like I didn't move to Canada, and I never made the NHL, and there'd be those things. I'd be like, really? You didn't do anything? No. But
I made on NHL on the video game.
Right.
Does that count?
Yeah,
It was a bobblehead me, little shit.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, there he is. These people.
Motherfucker, you got a bobblehead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Did teenage Nick ever think that grown-up Nick would ever have a bobblehead of himself? No.
Amazing technology.
No.
Again, goes back to the greatest brother-in-law.
The greatest brother, all ode to you. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most things are.
That's right.
Bobbleheads, the clap, most things are owed to me.
Yes. All the greatest venereal diseases I have experienced have come from my greatest brother-in-law in the world, who also gave me the bobblehead.
That's right.
Awesome. So, Dean, what about you? What say you?
Okay. Like Brian, no. I would not like Dean. He would be annoying. I can just hear that whiny bitch ass voice.
Wait, is the younger Dean talking to you, or is this you talking to younger Dean?
Fucking go either way. No, we're gonna walk in the room, and I'm gonna look at him. You gotta look at me in disgust, and look at him. And
everybody hating everybody.
And he's going to look at me. Of course, I have fucking man tits now. Of course.
You probably would.
I would choke him, but I'm afraid that I know what happens. He just comes on my feet real quick. God. Yeah, we won't get along. We won't like each other, but we'll have this conversation. He's going to look at me. He's, of course. Look at you. And I know what this is, and I look at him and it's just gross and awful. And same thing, hating yourself years ago is still hating yourself today. So, fuck both of us. All right, moving on.
Well, let's wrap this. I think I can go to bed happy now.
Wow.
What? Come on. All right. So now the questions. You get an hour with your teenage self. What's some of the questions? What do you talk about? You know what I mean? You could go and, you could tell them the lottery numbers, but if you hit the lottery numbers at 19 years old, your life's different. You don't get the kids. You know what I mean? Like, so there are consequences. So maybe it's just advice. Maybe it's just warning him about things that are maybe inconsequential to life going forward. You know what I mean? Like, watch that curb, you'll break your ankle. You know what I mean? Who knows? But it's up to you. You could change your whole life if you want. You get an hour in the room with teenage you. What do you guys talk about? How does that conversation go? Let's actually start with Nick this time.
Okay. So this is consequential to my future, right?
Yeah.
There could be a time variant situation where if I tell them not to do something, okay.
Because the advice you give him I mean, you could, if you tell the wall advice, it doesn't know anything. So, you know what I mean? As in,
yes,
if
okay.
it doesn't mean anything, the advice you give him, means shit. So,
okay,
yeah.
I would be, and this is not to be like too like cheeseball about it or whatever, but like I would be hesitant to give myself any advice before I met Robin, because then everything would have changed and I wouldn't have my kids and I wouldn't have the life that I have. So for that reason, I would say, do you up until that point. I would maybe, since I met Robin, shortly thereafter, I would probably say don't drink 3/4 of a bottle of vodka and try to drive home, because you'll black out and drive into a checkpoint. I would also say
that's damn fine advice.
Once again with liquor, maybe don't take several shots of vodka and then go play hockey. You might break your ankle, and that'll save you a couple grand in medical bills if you don't do that. Things like that.
I don't need to be an AI to see a pattern here.
Be wary of alcohol. But there again, if I swore off alcoholism, I never would have met your sister, Dean, and then I wouldn't have the life. I actually owe my lovely, beautiful family life to alcoholism.
That's true.
I can't really hate on it altogether.
That's
because
true.
we were both deep in the throes of alcoholism when we met, and that's how we ended up with the life that we have today. So I wouldn't change a thing. But yeah, if I could give some advice, I would honestly. I would probably just tell him that, there's going to be some patches in there. They're going to be rough, but it's, again, cliche. It's kind of boring. I'm not going to take too long on it, but it's just like, stick with it. Trust me, things work out in the end. Like everything, stay true to yourself, follow your gut with things, follow your heart, whatever have you. And it works out for you. I promise it does. It works out amazing, better than you even think right now. So just do you follow what you think is right. And I have my parents to oath to that for my upbringing. I felt like they gave me a pretty good barometer of right and wrong and how to handle situations, and things worked out pretty well for me. So I would probably not change. That's kind of a boring answer. I really wouldn't. I'd be afraid. I wouldn't want to change anything. Now, if there's a flip side to this conversation coming to where I don't know if I want to answer it now or not, or if I'm supposed to answer it now or not. But if there is something that doesn't change time, I would give tips such as.
Well, is there going to be a question for that? That would be the last question.
Okay, so I won't answer that now. So Brian, you go.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you in the sense that I would be very cautious to try to say something that would, not allow me to have Peyton. So just be very, very careful in that respect, because she has been she probably saved my life probably in many respects. I don't know. I would say, hey, listen, you're going to have some. I mean, obviously, I'm talking to you as a young person. You can see that I'm an older. This is me talking to my younger self. I'm 54. You've obviously made it this long, so that's a good thing. So if you're worried about anything like that, you're still around on this earth for a little while.
So do those drugs.
Yeah,
you're fine.
I'm past the age of dad. You're when you're this age, so we're doing okay in that respect. But yeah, you're going to be very difficult patches of life. There's going to be things you're going to go through that you may not think you're going to be able to make it, whether financially, personally, relationship wise. You're going to have heartbreak, some really, really tough times. You're going to doubt that you can maybe get through it, but you're going to be fine. You're going to get through it. You're going to use your family. You're going to use your friends. Appreciate all the time you have with your friends. Some of the friends that you have in life right now, some of your very best friends when you're my age, are not going to be here. I'm not going to tell you who that is. All I'm going to tell you is enjoy the time with your friends right now, because it could be gone in a minute. But you are going to be blessed with having long-term friendships, many long-term friendships for many years. So that's something to value and appreciate and never lose sight of, that you're not going to be alone. Sometimes you might think you're alone, but you're not, so just hang in there. And I'm not going to say if you got married or not, because I don't want to bum myself out when I'm that young, because I was envisioned as a young man that I was going to be like my parents and have like all my friends, all my close friends for the most part,
had two parents around, long-term marriages. They had kids, and it was like that's what I envisioned having for myself.
Very
I never had
nuclear family setup. Yeah.
Right.
never had it, but I would at least tell myself that, I'm not going to tell you if you got married or whatever, but you will have a beautiful child, a beautiful daughter, and she's going to be the light of your life. Not going to tell you who it's from. Just hang in there. You're not going to feel that you're ready for it, but you're going to be fine. It's going to be very, very, very difficult. You're going to go through some of the most difficult periods of your life, potentially, but you're going to be through it. He's going to be great, and he's going to come out great. On the other side, you're going to experience many beautiful things with her. So just, hang, like you say, kind of hang tough.
Yeah.
Hang tough. I'll probably give myself advice and, just don't live beyond your means. Don't go crazy with, buying too much credit cards and all that when you're younger. You're going to appreciate that a little bit more, but just hang in there.
No shit,
and
right?
just say things are going to be fine. Appreciate your time with your parents because, all that stuff, just general advice like that. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to just risk, screwing something up. And maybe the last thing, Nick, I might tell my younger self, as hard as it might be right now for you, the Dallas Cowboys will win multiple Super Bowls.
Yes, they will.
I'm not going to tell you when, but you hang in there. You will see it in your lifetime.
The crazy thing is, that was old news to teenage Nick. Like, teenage Nick was like, yeah, I know.
Right.
Like, that happened when I was a child.
So, as you two are walking out your two separate doors, right? You're going to stop younger Brian and go, hey, one last thing. Someday, some very handsome young man's going to walk into your office. That's right. You're going to be a boss. And he's going to ask you to join a bowling league. Fire him. Fire him at that fucking moment. Kick him out of your office.
Rid the vermin from your life now.
Get him out.
That might be another thing. So someday, some guys will be sitting on it. We're talking about having what they call a podcast.
It's like the radio.
Your small brain can't comprehend that right now, but you're right. It's like the radio, but you could put yourself on the radio if you want to. Just really rethink that.
Question.
It's a lot of work and it's a thankless job.
Everything.
Really rethink that.
Yeah.
You're going to age rapidly.
You had a full brown, dark, thick beard when it starts.
Yep.
3 years in.
Yep. No, that's kind of it. Just like I say, just general hang in there, like you say, Nick. Just stick with you. So,
that makes
Dean,
sense.
what about you? Yeah.
Where are we at? Well, I like or we're at conversation.
What advice would you give younger you? But it would change. It would at this point it could change the trajectory of your entire life.
Okay, well, we first walk in. Teenage Dean is going to look me up and down and go, "You don't have to say it. I will stop eating cookies." Jesus, do a sit up. Are they outlawed in the future? God damn it! And then.
Or at least cover yourself with a Tommy Bahama shirt. Jesus.
That's right. Yeah.
Like me.
Are you exercising in the future? Yeah. Well, what are you doing? Swimming.
What?
I sure hope oatmeal's trash bags filled with oatmeals become sexy in the future because Jesus Christ. If not, we're not getting fucked at all. I'm not getting fucked now, and I expect to get fucked now with that body? God damn it. So
that's how this
conversation starts. There's proof of one time. No, I don't. I think I'm just going to tell him, to, like you said, be patient. And I'm going to steal yours, Brian, is fucking easy on the live within your means in your 20s because that will come back and fucking bite you in the ass.
Yep.
You're going to be driving a small white car. I can't remember what it was, but it's a small white car. And at that time, you're going to date this girl. And you're going to go on a few dates. When you pull up to the house, invite her in. That's all I'm going to tell him. Invite her in. Don't let her drive away. That's one thing that I would tell him. Again, to be vague for him so you don't give too much information, and it would be a too big of a story for this podcast at this moment. I would tell him that to invest in probably Apple.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I would tell him to just stop being a douchebag. Stop being a pussy. Things are going to come along, and you're going to pass on them because you're a punk ass bitch. I was known for a brief period as Mr.
As
Missed
the punk ass
Opportunity.
bitch. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm known as that now. Look for that T-shirt on our fucking merch. So
I like that a lot. Punk ass bitch.
Punk ass
hashtag
bitch.
punk
Yeah,
ass
I'm
bitch.
gonna use that one
Yeah.
of your other pictures you sent. Yeah, I
All
like
right.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, there is some opportunities. Like, yeah. Here's the question of time travel. I love my son dearly, and I would do anything for him. But like, and I think we've probably been over this on other time travel conversations, but like, if I won the lottery at 20 and I don't have kids, or no, you know what, you could fix it in a way that, tell him to play, to invest in this or play these numbers or whatever, but tell him to be here at this place in a certain time where it, you know what I mean, to meet this person to make this happen. You know what I mean? So you could do both. That way you could make your fucking life better and still have the good things.
You would tell yourself you have to meet Lori, or you just say be in this location and something's
Yeah,
gonna
I wasn't
happen.
going to give names, but yeah, you be at the certain place at a certain time to meet the certain people to have your kids. You know what I mean? Not like the certain place of like, be there fucking her and, at 12:05. Not that, but like, thrust 3 times. She's going to go, is that it? And you're going to go, yes. And then, kid. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely try to enrich my life of some sort, but he would be so obnoxious to talk to that I don't think I would get annoyed and just fucking walk away or choke him. All right, but for you guys,
yeah.
Final question. You get, like Nick said before, you now get to tell him something that doesn't ruin the space-time continuum situation.
So just pure advice. This is what, if I could do something differently, I love my life, but if I could do something differently,
you get that.
Here's what I would do better. Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay. I will start. For me, I was always a good student in school, but I never took school seriously. I didn't work as hard as I could have, and I never really. I wish I would have told myself, hey, like, you need to come up with, give me 3 things. 3 things you want to be when you grow up. One of them can be famous this or that or whatever. The other 2, pick something you're interested in. Hey, 16-year-old you want to play in the NHL someday, right? Okay, there's one of yours you want to play in the NHL. Okay, let's think of something. Would you like to be involved in hockey in a way that's not a player? Let's go...
Be a towel boy.
Sports medicine, or be sure. I mean, something in some sort of what's a craft or something that you can do, something you can study that can put you close to the game that you love.
What are you good at? Masturbation.
For your life,
guys like hand jobs.
There you go. Right, you're the locker room guy. It's fine. You can work for the video coach for the Chicago Blackhawks. You can be his personal assistant.
That's specific.
Save some other players some trouble. But or just things like that. I discovered much later in life, I'm like, I am fascinated by marine biology, for example. That would have been a cool thing for me to choose to go into.
Have you always enjoyed like looking at Marines, or just like studying them, or?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
The
that
physique.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Sure.
but no, there's things like that, marine biology, or just something, being some sort of scientist in the Arctic or something like that would have been insane to me. That would have been cool. That would have been something that doesn't sound sexy when you're a teenager, that you don't want to like, ooh, that's what I'm going for. But it's practical, and it's something you can work towards, and something you could actually have a career in, or you know what I mean, and invest in your future. I never took it seriously like that. I was just too focused on the moment at all times. So definitely I would tell myself that would probably be my biggest one. Is just because I mean, as I outlined earlier, I feel that in my opinion, I have a pretty charmed life. I'm happy with where I am. If there's one piece of the puzzle missing, it's that, I can't really complain about my job, but I don't have a career that I'm passionate about, right? Like I don't go to work every day going like, this is meaningful work for me. I can't wait to get to work. I envy people that are like, I love my job. Like I love going to work every day. So that's something that, I don't have a bad job. I don't have gripes, but it's not something that I'm super passionate about. So that would probably be something that I would probably tell myself. I would also just, probably tell myself to be more secure in yourself, I guess. You know what I mean? Like be more comfortable in your own skin. I mean, I think for a lot of my teenage years,
fucking idiot.
like most people don't, have that. They don't have that security. So yeah, maybe that. But I don't know. Brian, what about you?
No, that's good stuff. I guess I would say one thing is, you're going to start to play some organized sports for your high school. Just finish one fucking season. Like I tried out for basketball. I used to love basketball
in the 70s.
Right.
So they were the super short. Are there pictures of that? Please tell us.
No pictures of that. This is in the 80s. But I used to just have a passion for basketball, watching the NBA, watching Larry Bird, watching the Celtics. I used to shoot baskets for hours and hours and hours and hours out back. Just loved it so much. And so I tried out, went through all the conditioning, the toughest, and I quit. Just because I lost confidence in myself and all that. And to this day, it was something that I regret. Not that I had, I'm not suggesting at all I would have done anything other than high school basketball. I would have liked to have realized the experience of playing, wearing my high school uniform, out there playing in front of people. Whether I got on the court or not, the fact that I started something and finished it, looking back, that would have been a nice thing for me personally, is just to finish one season of Oregon. I started to play T-ball as a kid. I quit. Pee Wee football, quit. Basketball, quit.
You're a fucking quitter.
Yeah. Well, see, that was something I sort of had to go back and reflect on. Is I did. I mean, all seriousness, I did play band. I don't give a fuck what people say about it. I did play all through from 6th grade to 12th grade. That was something I enjoyed.
That's taxing.
Yeah, and I enjoyed performing. Sure. It was hard practice. You had to show up at the high school at 7:30 in the morning and practice before school. So that was tough. I stuck with that the entire time. So that was something I'm proud of.
Yeah.
In that respect, because we were very good and we had a lot of accolades and everything else. But for me, from an athletic perspective, I would have liked to have. So I told my younger self, play a fucking season. Yeah. What's the worst thing that fucking happen? You sit on the fucking bench, nothing happens. Or maybe you go out there and make a couple baskets in front of your classmates, and who knows?
Yeah. You never know. A hand job in the parking lot by a cheerleader.
Who knows? I can't believe I forgot that. That's a big one. That for a long time.
You gave the hand job to a basketball player? Yes. The parking lot?
Yeah. Why do you think I showed up for my senior year? I mean, that was why I was.
Well, that makes sense. Everything makes sense now. Everything.
No, but that was sense. A serious one for me for a long time. For the because I played like house league in Canton, like hockey, and it was at a certain point, my parents they were like, it was the last year that Jackson was accepting open enrollment for people to come and play and be on the hockey team. And they were like, if you're serious about it, we're willing to move to Jackson. We will move to Jackson. You can go to Jackson and you can play high school hockey there. And I was like, I've been here my whole life, and my friends, and I wish I could go back and be like, you're not going to talk to any of those fucking people, like ever again, like other than a couple people that, you know, through circumstance you see around and you hang up, like these are not like, you're not going to talk to these people. Like, fucking move to Jackson and take this shit seriously. Like, go, you love this, go. Like, it was just stupid shit. Like, that used to like, but there again, you get into the whole paradox of, oh, how my life would have been different and whatever. I would have been here at this time.
But again, this question, you don't you don't have to worry about that.
If that was not a thing, that is my biggest like living regret, other than the college thing, is that like, you should have just fucking gone and done that. Who knows what would have come from that? I'm not. It's like Brian said. I'm not insinuating I would have been like a high-level hockey player, but who knows what that would have led to? Or could I have gotten some sort of money towards any type of scholarship? Or could I have, could that have, kind of rolled over into a college experience or whatever? That would have been cool. But, oh well, it's fine.
Yep. And I'm with you too, Nick, on the sense of the passion thing. Like, as a kid, loved to draw. Loved comic books, had a passion for it. And for a while there, that's what I thought I wanted to pursue. I wanted to draw and create art. Went to college for that, right out of high school. Didn't hone my skills enough.
Sure.
And got shied away from it. And just the fact of, the talent of my classmates, even in college, was like, Jesus Christ, these kids. It's a whole other level of just kid, because this is not computerized stuff at the time. This is all people
all by hand,
sitting down, fucking hand drawn shit, and super talented people. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I can't even compete with these kids in here, let alone the world. And so I shied away from it, and this and that. However, I wished I would have done more to try to at least pursue that more and that type of thing. That's probably one reason why I'm so passionate about it, because in a way this is at least some art. That's how I view this for us. There's art in the world. It's something that's out there. We're creative. We're putting something out there. That's why I'm so passionate about it. But anyway, I wish I would have tried that.
I watched a homeless guy smear shit on a wall one time and said, look at my painting.
Right.
And I get it, how this could be art.
Yep. Yep. But it would be nice to you, like you said, to your point, it'd be nice to be able to make money from something that you truly have a passion for, and that's rare. Not people can experience
like
that.
Nick out in the parking lot,
the
basketball player.
Nick has a real passion for it.
True passion.
Brian, do you still draw?
Get paid enough.
Do you draw?
Not as no.
Really? Okay.
But there's no reason not to.
Now, could you
make the time to do it?
Do you have the?
Well, everyone can draw, Dean.
No, but I know how he's going to respond to this, because the original thing is, do you have the talent to like do some cool shit? And I know you're going to say, oh no, but could if you sat down and wanted to just doodles and just have fun with it, you could work with that?
Sure, I could. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, your skills are kind of frozen in time. You know what I'm saying? You might imagine with whatever you're doing that you got so far, you could sort of pick it back up. Yeah, I just need to make time to do it. That's it. I need to make time to do stuff like that.
That's not necessarily true. When I was in broadcasting school, I was really good, and now look at this. So, I disagree with you on the talent frozen in time scenario.
Yeah, you get a teeny glimpse of a very,
very small,
poorly drawn art on our merch store, where we have an Einstein logo with half a Terminator face. That's a very
that was you?
Yeah.
That was not poorly drawn. I like that a lot, actually.
I did enjoy that. I thought that was a Peyton.
No, I hand drew that.
Very nice. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, very cool.
Anyway, yeah. So that's it. What about you, Dean? Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I think actually I don't even need this question, because I figured out a way to fuck the paradox. I am going. In theory, I know in advance.
Fuck the paradox.
Fuck the paradox. I know that I'm going to have this meeting, so I'm going to get the lottery numbers or whatever numbers, or horse race or whatever it is, and I'm going to
race. Easy there, big roller.
Whatever. So I'm going to hand him an envelope, so that way he's going. He doesn't, whatever he's going to bet on or lottery numbers doesn't happen until a week before I go, or a day before I go in. That way he doesn't get the numbers, right? I do when I go back. Huh? You see what I'm saying? So as soon as I leave the meeting, I have the lottery numbers for whatever.
Okay.
So in theory, I don't have to fuck up, what I've gone through. I'm going to give myself the numbers for the present moment. Kind of like so Marty McFly, he gets the letter from Doc from 1870.
Okay. So you're going to still live out your life, but when you get to that moment,
now I get to be rich.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I get to be grumpy piece of shit me, and now I get to be
with
rich.
money.
Exactly.
Grumpy shithead Dean with money.
Right.
Well, that's interesting. Wait a minute. Try it. Hold on. How would that
I would
work?
have to think a little bit more about it, but in theory,
because your present self doesn't know the future.
No, I'm going to write down the lottery numbers for today.
I see.
So
and then when he goes back in time, he's still going to have to live out the rest of his 48 years or whatever. And then when he gets to this point,
save this envelope, protect this envelope with your life, never open it. Make sure this envelope is on this nightstand before you leave to come do this interview.
But if you return back to your current time, the lottery's already passed.
No.
But
it's going to happen that night.
Yeah, that right.
So this is a free time travel scenario.
Exactly. There's a lot of it's bullshit, of course, but in theory, whatever. But actually, my real answer is what Nick had said: college. I would tell Dean to suck it up, and it's not useless. It's not worthless. Go to fucking college. If you want to go to college for whatever. I regret not going to college for broadcasting. I later went to a broadcasting school, but I should have gone to actual college. I should have gone. My secondary would have been marketing or advertising. Advertising it's always been fascinating to me.
I started that, just never finished.
See, there you
I
go.
did go to school for that, and then I just did it like 2 semesters and quit.
See, I would, like you guys said, stick through it. No matter what happens, stick through it. Finish, go to, you know what I mean? College is one thing I do regret, and I wish I would have gone and done. So without, in theory I could, yeah.
That's going to cut into my drinking beer and playing hockey time. I just don't see how that fits in my life anymore.
Right.
I'm still trying to make the show.
You gotta weigh it back and forth.
It's either that or the NHL.
Just put the goddamn marketing passion into promoting this fucking podcast.
I scored 2 goals last week, so I think I'm a little closer to the NHL than a high-paying job in marketing and advertising. So
yeah,
I do have a point.
I always have a point. I'm fucking genius.
I'm giving you a hard time. No, go ahead.
At this age, nothing's hard. I think, go to college. Go for whatever you're passionate at the time for, or if you want to change it. Just go to college, have that experience. I had the college experience, but without the college, which was fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I did the drinking. I did the whatever we do at that time. I did all that. But
that being said, though,
with this as the result, not of, I can go get this job. I can go get that job. So I had the fun without the fun end result.
Yeah.
So
that being said, though, I am a big believer in, and I'm not like a religious person or anything, but I am a big believer in things have a natural order or a way of things working out. And I do think that a lot, because certainly I wish that I would have gone to college, but I wish that I would have gone to college with Nick's brain and head going into the, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
If I would have gone to college when I'm thinking that I should have, it would have been wasted. I would have fucked it up. I wouldn't have taken it seriously, and it would have been wasted money. And it would have.
Maybe we should all do like the LeBron thing. You take 4 years off. So you dick around 4 years, and then you come back to do the serious stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't go to college as a society, or at least American society. We shouldn't go right away. Maybe everybody is, you can't get out of high school and go to college. You have to take 2 years and go do something. Go live your life. Experience the real world. Experience shit. Experience heartache. Just go see the world. If it's your world's across the block, that's it. That's your world. But you experience the world. Then after 2 years, then you can go in and go, okay, this makes sense to do this as a career. Right. Who knows? Fucking.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot who went to broadcasting school at like fucking 30, so what do I know?
You have a podcast now.
There we go. Yeah.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. No, but whether I tell, teenage Dean this or that to make my life do this or that, it could go a many different ways. But ultimately, I'm very happy of where I'm at right now. Trials and tribulations and whatever you go through, I'm pretty goddamn happy right now. So
yeah, that's all you can ask, man.
Regardless of the jokes that I tell and the grumpiness, I am quite happy to do this podcast with you guys. Well, most of you, and
talking to you, Golden Dean head in the back,
motherfucker. That's the guy that made the mistakes. That guy.
All right, we won't go into detail here. Maybe it's a future episode, but so we are our current ages. Right? If you had a choice to meet your future self,
I like that.
So 10, 20 years from now,
so I'm going to see a gravestone.
Well, maybe it's the dean.
Why is it an urn?
Yep. Would you want to meet your future self and understand? Yeah. Same question. You have to go. That's not the details as far as what would you ask. Maybe it's another question in the future. But would you want to meet your future self? Maybe you'll be happy with it. Maybe you would not be so happy with 10, 20 years down the line. From I guess there could be a lot of tragedy in your life.
Sure.
You don't know. Would you want to?
Here's the thing, and see, guys, tell me if I'm right on this. You don't even need to get into the conversation. I think that I have at 42 years old, I think that I have enough intelligence to meet my older self and take who fucking said that? I didn't even watch it. Dickhead.
It could have been either one of us, really.
I know.
Nick and I are more in sync.
I know, it really is. And by the way, look up and you're both looking the same.
We're one mind.
But no, I think that I could be able to tell, just meeting older Dean and being you still get warnings without having to get into what actually happened. Give me details. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Where is he at? What does he look like? What's happening?
Right.
Yeah.
So if he has an eye patch, you know to be careful.
Or not.
Right.
It looks cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I lose my eye? No, I just like fashion. Aw, you're a dude.
I'd be like, well, it came with the corncob pipe and the fucking cap.
Ah, that's all tying together.
This is just a prop to look older than I am.
I'm in the high school play. Oh, shit.
Yep. Your beard is so great. I'm dyeing it gray. Shit. Nick, would you want to meet your future self? Or
curiosity would get the better of me, and I would absolutely, because there's certainly I'd be like, just live your life, and what happens. But if I had that opportunity, the curiosity would be too great. I would just, like you said, there could be tragedy, or it could be incredible, and it just, what does that do to your psyche? Depending on what you see. So yeah, I don't know, but I would be too curious. I couldn't help myself. I'd want to know.
Brian, would you?
It's interesting if you ask yourself the same question as a teenager. Would you want to meet yourself now? Would you meet it would be, in many respects, I would want to
at least kind of see where I was and get an idea. Because it's a version of yourself, right? Because it's the whole timeline thing. Is if you see you're in a situation that this is not the best, so I don't know how to be better than that,
right?
But I can do something
to
now
look out for
to
something
maybe
awful.
divert. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like,
anyway.
well, would it be worse or better? Like if you walked in the room, all right, you're going to meet 20 years from now, Brian, and he's like this fucking buff Greek god.
That's right.
Is that more intimidating than walking in and finding a homeless Brian? You know what I mean? If I
like the situation, I'm just like, well, I don't want to know something's going to happen. I just want to obviously do something right somewhere. But if it's something is not so good, then I need to remember that too, to think, okay, I don't want to wind up at that version.
See, but if I walk in and see Buff Dean, I'm like, now I'm into my own head of going, oh shit, I need to make all these right decisions because that was like the awesome version that I need to get to. Now I'm into my own head and I fuck everything up.
Or what if you find out Buff Dean got so buff because you're like, yeah, I found out I could get this way by eating babies. And then you're like, oh my God, like what is Dean turned into?
Fuck, double score.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I love your scenario.
Okay, it's not from the straight from the tap though, so don't get carried away. It's like actually, I know you're excited right now, but it's
great.
You got to let him ferment a little bit. So calm down.
Yep. Not from the sauna.
Well, from the movies I've seen, that's kind of where it happens.
Hashtag straight from the tap.
Straight from the tap.
I like that. That's funny.
Baby, straight from the tap.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Good stuff. Well, I think, guys, before we actually meet our future selves,
I was going to say, if we keep going long enough, we're about to be future us. So
we sure are.
It was late and the early days tomorrow and all that, but great episode, guys.
And we'll end up homeless versions of ourselves because we're going to get fired for sleeping on the job tomorrow.
Yeah. I feel like our future selves right now, there's a possibility that based on this episode, we were thinking, our future selves are telling ourselves, you guys were really starting to question what in the hell you were doing with this rinky-dink podcast until the episode where you discussed if you would meet your future, and that was the particular episode that just blew the fuck up in Germany and just swept the entire German country. That's it. I almost said continent.
Now you German guys are going to be rich, but you all have to move to Germany.
The Kinder straight from the top, yeah.
I could dig it.
Let's move to Germany. I'm all about it.
Absolutely. Nick definitely has German DNA. I have some German DNA.
Yeah,
I'm a quarter German. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, so
I like to drink German DNA, so let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. Straight from the tap. Hashtag straight from the tap. All right, so Nick, thinking very carefully here that this particular outro could be the catalyst to our future selves looking back and saying this was the moment that this podcast really turned a corner.
Yeah.
I want you to think very carefully and give us a great outro. And you choose if you want to do a voice or whatever you think about that.
Wow.
What is your future? I want you to reach out to your channel, right? Channel your future self and the young Nick at the same time. So young Nick and older Nick it's all forces coming together.
Young Nick, especially teenage Nick, really loved staying up late and watching Comedy Central, so we've got that coming in.
And he loves doing this with his hair.
Nick right now really enjoys a lot of superhero content and movies, Marvel movies. Okay, there's a lot of prominent figures coming in. Nick enjoyed comedy. There's a lot of Chappelle's Show. Chappelle's Show emulated Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury. That's it. I don't know why, but Samuel L. Jackson is coming to me.
I like it.
And here's how it goes, motherfuckers. If you want to join Convincing Idiots next week, I want you to listen up. You need to go over there, find a link tree, motherfucking Convincing Idiots link tree, motherfuckers. You go in there, you type into Google, Convincing Idiots, LINK STR motherfucking EE. And there, you're gonna find all of the Convincing Idiots links. So make sure you like, you subscribe, you rate, and go ahead and review that shit, because you know we want to hear from you. Make sure you also go over to Convincing Idiots website. That's convincingidiots.wordpress.com. Make sure you go over there and like, subscribe, rate, review, do whatever the fuck it is you do on the internet. Also, be sure to help out the podcast. We know you got money, you piece of shit. Go ahead and give these motherfuckers some money. Now, without any more further ado, I'm your fucking millennial, your motherfucking millennial, Nick.
I'm the Zennial Dean, wondering if that's Samuel L. Jackson or really angry, dirty Mr. T.
I pity the motherfucking fool does not tune in to watch Gen X Brian on the next episode of Convincing Idiots.
Have we convinced you, motherfuckers, to join us for another episode of Convincing Idiots in the future?
Pain.
Hey, did you like that video? You know you did, and we know you did. So stop screwing around and go like that video, subscribe to our channel, and join us for some more.
While we were on break, I was looking up some different pipes. Very impressive.
It was 10
Well, the
seconds.
pipe rack obviously has pipes.
Yeah, they do. Quite literally, like a wall of them.
Okay. We should go there.
That's what we're saying. Yeah. You can smoke your pipe and we'll smoke a cigar like a younger man.
Slightly younger man, but a younger man.
Slightly.
Yeah.
We'll smoke like we're
slightly.
40. You can smoke like you're 60. It's fine.
I enjoy a good pipe, or a good cigar as well.